Welcome to the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie, powered in part by Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Joining me here on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie here at Denton Radio. I just want to let you guys know, I hope you guys are having a great short week, hopefully. Sometimes people think it drags on a little bit more, but hope you're enjoying your day out there today. And we have Erika Tolbert in studio today.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today. And I am going to share her with you guys. I'm sure some of you recognize her already, or her artwork, and her amazing artwork.
Oh.
And we're going to get to know her a little bit better today. So thank you for being in here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I wanted to know who Erika was, and I'm like, I need to get her in the studio. I see your work everywhere, and in case anybody doesn't know who she is, she does a lot of work on the town, literally.
The town.
Yeah, so let's get to know who you are first as a Dentonite, and then we'll switch gears into who you are as an artist. So,
Okay.
Who's Erika?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm not originally from Denton, but I had moved here many, many years back, and I've always been an artist. And then I guess about probably 10 years ago, I started doing some art around town. I've always done window murals, photographic backdrops and stuff, and other places I lived. And I was like, well, we'll try that out here, and it just kind of spread.
It did, like wildfire. I don't think you can go anywhere in Denton or on the square and not see your work. I mean, it's predominantly displayed in several locations, sometimes multiple locations at once. And it's just really neat because, you know, it's pretty cool to be working like that in a town that loves art. And there's just, it'll eat up your artwork and just be...
It does. There's so many
knocking on your door all the time.
And there's so many great artists in Denton as well.
Yes.
So when you do have a lot of stuff up, it's like, oh, thanks.
Exactly. So in case you didn't know, she is predominantly a muralist, correct? Or
These days,
correct,
yeah.
Or correct me if I'm wrong. Windows, murals.
Windows, murals, portraits, canvas commissions, charcoal commissions. I have painted some weird things, toy boxes, furniture, like you name it. I have probably been asked to paint it.
Nice. So I'm going to see if you can remember, because sometimes people don't. What was your absolute first project here in Denton?
Jupiter House.
Really? Ooh,
The
congratulations.
windows of Jupiter House. I had just moved back, and I was like, well, where am I going to go to find someone? And I had happened across Amy at Jupiter House, and she was super pregnant. She's just trying to get out the door, and I'm just like, hey,
Let me
let
catch
me
you.
paint your windows. And she was like, yeah, do it. And then I did, and she's so great. She just calls everyone she knows, and she's like, oh, you got to have her, and then go down there. And so she'd send me over places, and that's how it kind of started.
Wow. So it was like wildfire after that, huh? So what you do is usually around the holidays and sometimes in between.
Yeah, a lot of places do stuff year-round and for special events, and then pretty much everywhere during the holidays. And I know between me and Warren, the other muralist,
Yes.
we've said one day we're going to have everything down here. It's going to be
That would be
Christmas
awesome.
at the holidays.
Y'all are going to paint the town literally, because that between both of you, and that's the other person that I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
in his work too. So it's like, if it's not hers, it's his. It's not hers, it's his. Everybody's.
I've seen a couple others that I'm not sure like quite who they are, but yeah, between the two of us, and I always recognize his, and like one day between the two of us we'll have, you know, the whole
Yeah.
square done.
It's like Monopoly. It's
Kinda.
like who has this street and who has this street, and I'll buy this if you buy. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. But okay, so let's talk about you. You said Jupiter House, so it spread like wildfire, and then you started doing these themes. In fact, here in the studio, we've got them going on all the time. And you've done one for me even for, for Lost Poet Lounge when we were here in the studio and whatnot. So it's just really neat to have that personal touch to whatever storefront, to whatever event, because a lot of times we cater to the events here on the square, and there's so much going on. And what's your favorite to paint for? What theme, holiday?
Well, all of them. I like all of them. I love Christmas. Like, I'm a Christmas fanatic.
Are you?
So, of course, I love doing all the Christmas windows. By the end of the season, some of them start to get a little cheeky because I'm tired of Christmas. But
darn snowflake.
yeah, I love doing all the Day of the Dead stuff, and I like it when we can incorporate like the business, like what they do. Because, I mean, it is advertisement, basically, if you're a business and you're putting stuff out there. You know, it's like,
definitely.
hey, come in and check out our stuff. But so if I can incorporate that and make it something, like, really, like, cute to do with what the business is doing, I love those.
Yeah, those are probably fun for you to do. I think one of my favorites is when you do the coffin races. Those are always hilarious. I mean, they're not, like, comedy or anything, but they're just so cute. They are, because each shop will have a different, little picture.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's kind of their own personality of each place.
So
some places want really, really fun and cute,
and then
others
more
want,
like So it is fun to watch those pop up around the square, and then just obviously the whole holidays too. Any kind of holidays, and it's like oh, it's really neat to see that. So one of my absolute favorites though is your mural over there on the yoga building.
Oh.
That is, if you guys haven't seen it, it is over there by, what's it called? Don't tell me.
It's Authentic Yoga Life.
There you go. I was going to say Yoga Life. Authentic Yoga Life. And if you haven't seen it, it is a beautiful, beautiful mural that she did. It's purple and all kinds of other vibrant colors. But if you haven't gone over there to take a Instagram selfie or even a shot of it.
Lots of pictures.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I couldn't stop because the work was beautiful. It was just this beautiful paisley and just all these patterns. You guys, it's actually in between East Side and the Bearded Monk on the Authentic Yoga Life wall in that little parking lot. I would say if you want a great backdrop, go there because that's one of my favorite pieces that she did. It is gorgeous. And how long did it take you to do that?
Ooh, I want to say a couple weeks because it was in the middle of summer.
Ooh.
And so I was painting at night. And every once in a while I'd come out there during the day with a little tarp. And I'd be like, oh, no. I'm going home. I'll come back at night. Because it was so hot in that parking lot.
Yeah, I remember seeing you out there.
It took a couple weeks. Luckily, I didn't have to worry about like it lining up exactly because we were just kind of making it up as we went. So could just kind of run with it all the way down and not have to stop and check design or anything. So that made it go a little faster.
Because the flow of the artwork itself is it's almost like one of those. There it is on the screen. It's like those modern Zentangle type things, and it just flows. And so I can imagine that you had like you said, it was a little bit easier to deal with it because you just added and added and layered and whatnot. But it's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And so that being thematic to the yoga,
yes,
right? Let me know about any other murals that you have around town that are kind of thematic of that side. Do you have any other ones?
Well, we have in Denton Trading Company over here. I got to do Goatman's Bridge.
Nice.
Which isn't really like, I guess, specific to the business, but it's very Denton.
Yeah, you're right. It is the one behind the little Volkswagen.
Behind the Volkswagen.
With the Denton name going down the side.
Yes.
And it's iconic. That's an iconic place here in Denton. And everybody always talks about Old Alton Bridge and the spooky
Yeah, we thought that would be really, really funny with the little car coming out. And then the murals going on at Jupiter House. Even though they're coffee, Joey and Amy over there have really kind of made it their own. It's it's like you walk in and it's like nostalgic of like their whole lives. You can look it up at the posters and concert tickets and stuff. And so it started out that we were going to do music on these murals, and so there's some modern stuff mixed in, and then the more I went, it's like the more nostalgic I got. And I was like, oh, let's just make it really like
it was
90s
really
nostalgic.
It was. When I looked at those photos, I was like, man, she really went in depth with these, because you have David Bowie on there, you have Queen, you have, gosh, what else did I see in there? Don't tell me. Amy Winehouse. You had Nirvana. I mean, you had a lot of detail in there. You had Eminem, and it was just layers and layers and layers of memorabilia of just, you know, people and music.
Yes.
And what made them do music for Jupiter House?
Well, they really love music and like the music scene, and I think it's been a big part of like who they are, and it's a big part of who Denton is.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of who I am. So we would start talking about it and like, oh, let's do this. And oh, let's do this. And we're actually bringing the murals out a little farther because they're back in the bathrooms now. We're going to come down the hallway. So we're still just thinking of things and
spilling it out.
Yeah. Text messages in the middle of the night of, oh, what about this band? Do you remember this band?
Yeah.
And, you know, oh, I love them.
That's pretty cool, because, you know, a lot of times people don't think to find artwork in bathrooms. And it's really neat when you walk in and you're like, whoa. And you're like, people do it all the time. And I just happened to go to an art installation in Dallas, and the bathroom was amazing. I mean, it was like, they're like, you're going to want to take pictures in there. Like, okay. And I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, it really was pretty cool in there. And so the more eye-catching, eye-popping, then you're going to end up seeing them all over Instagram, social media, which is a huge part of, you know, the allure of bringing people into our businesses nowadays. But your work in there is really amazing, because it is literally layers and layers and layers and layers of just memorabilia art. How long did that take you? Because it's pretty.
I think for the 2 rooms, it was about a month.
Wow.
About a month, because I would have to like take a little projector and project the squares of where everything would go, because being that close, it's like we will be 7 months if I'm drawing like how big everything is, and then go back and draw it inside of that parameter and do my portraits and stuff like that. So it was kind of a process, and I'd work really early in the mornings. And so, about a month.
Wow, that is amazing. And so you do, switching gears from murals, you do the portrait work, which I saw as well. And you do some really beautiful, I saw some really neat sketches of robots, but the portraiture that I saw in there was, he was really cute. I liked him. He was one of the pictures that I saved down. I'm like, I like this one. We're going to put this one on there. But you do portraiture as well. And the definition in the faces and everything is just amazing. As you can tell, I'm a fan.
Thank you. See, I think I'm way better with charcoal than I am paint any day, but
it's just
I can't really go charcoal around town. So.
No, well, it'll with our Texas weather, it'll just, poofed away, washed away 1 second. And so, do you have any new projects coming up? Anything exciting aside from, I know you're still gonna branch out at Jupiter House, but anything else that you have that's you're kind of excited about?
Oh goodness, let's see, what do I got going on? I've got more stuff going on over there. I have a couple canvases I'm working on right now. I just talked to Randy Sue, and I've got to come to the windows here because I've been shirking responsibility. I have a piano I'm supposed to paint.
Oh wow,
this coming week.
That's gonna be
in a library.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
you're
thinking of my schedule.
I was just gonna say, so what is your schedule like when you're doing that much?
Sometimes there's not really an in between. It's either I'm completely dead, or you'll see me like dying somewhere out in the street carrying my paint, being like, oh my god, like there's no in between. It's one of those two.
It's just one or the other. Oh my goodness! And I know that painting out there in that Texas heat is excruciating. So props to you for doing that. Like I said, I saw you when I was at Eastside. I was like, oh, look, she's painting. I'm like, man, she's smart to be out there at night versus during the day, because somebody would have to be there with a little squirt gun, water bottle, keep you hydrated.
Oh, yeah, and I hate the heat. And yet I live in Texas, but I love Denton. So it's like I end up back in Texas, and then it's hot, and I try to hide inside all summer. I'm like, oh, God, no, I'm not going out there.
Yeah. Thank God it's so cold in here.
Yeah.
I really want ice cream right now, though. So I'm going to head over to Beth Marie's in a little bit because, you know, it's cold. Anyways. But so where can people commission? You did say that, right? So people can commission you. And where would they be able to contact you for commission work?
Email, Instagram, Facebook.
All that.
Call me.
Call her, you guys. So what are they going to look for on social media? What are your names on?
On Instagram, it's Erika Kath T, Erika with a K. Erika Tolbert on Facebook or Golandrina Studio, but no one seems to know how to spell that. And I didn't have the forethought of thinking of that when I named my business that. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and you do have a studio, so are you teaching classes or anything?
no.
You're like,
It's
"I'm
just,
too busy."
it's strictly business. Like my studio is, my garage was converted to my studio.
Very cool.
And
It's just where you work.
it is just where I work.
That's your office.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I want to make sure I get some more photos out on your beautiful pieces of artwork, and hopefully you'll throw up another mural as grandeur as the other one, because I
thank
just
you.
absolutely love that one. Vibrant colors and whatnot. But I am so glad that you got to come in and sit down with us today and talk about your
Definitely.
work. And please come back and visit with us, and we would love to have you here on the Denton Vibe again. But thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. You guys, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie. We will see you next week. You guys stay cool out there.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton.